Okay, let's get into your reading, Sagittarius. Okay, I really feel like someone here has feelings for you. They feel very connected to you, but they are not being super forward, okay? So the moon here is about hiding, like sort of this hiding energy, not necessarily expressing this, like really just suppressing, okay? Not expressing, but suppressing, keeping it to themselves. There's a sort of hiding energy coming through with the moon, but the moon also does show emotion, right? It's ruled by Pisces and it's ruled by Neptune, which is a very spiritual planet. And I want to hold that one thing in the title up front, okay? Because you're going to find out by the end of this reading exactly what it is that made this person love you twice as much. And it isn't your looks. And it isn't anything you did to impress them. It's something much simpler and much bigger than that. And I'll let the cards build all the way up to it. So listen, if you're here, I feel like this reading found you for a reason. You are here for a reason. This is meant for you. If you're seeing this, it's 100% meant for you. Let me just tell you this, okay? Do not skip this. I am telling you, such a powerful energy here. This person feels so connected to you. Boom. You cannot make this up, okay? And the moon card shows a path running between two towers, okay? A dog and a wolf howling up at it, a crayfish crawling out of the water, and everything lit in that half light where nothing shows its full shape. And it's the perfect card to open this because it's the card of things kept hidden, of feelings under the surface, of an emotion that's real, but not yet brought into the light. And I want you to understand what that means about this person from the very start, okay? The silence you've been experiencing from them is not empty. It's full. It's full of something they're holding under the surface, suppressing, keeping to themselves. And the moon is telling you there is a whole emotional world going on in there that you haven't been allowed to see yet. The Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles shows that this person feels so connected to you, so drawn to you. They see you as life partner material. They see you as the kind of person they can be with, they can grow with, they can have something work out with. They feel so connected to you and so drawn to you. They literally appreciate you so much, and they literally see that you can be their life partner. And I want to be clear about how significant this specific card is here, okay? Because the Ten of Pentacles is not a crush card. It's not a butterflies card. It shows an old man with his dogs, a couple, a child, 3 generations standing together under an archway with the family crest carved into the stone. It is the card of legacy, of building something that lasts generations. So when this is the card for how they see you, okay, they are not thinking about a fling. They're thinking about a life, the whole architecture of a future, a home, a family, growing old. That's the scale of what they see when they look at you. And that scale is part of why they've gone so quiet, because it's a lot to feel and not know what to do with. And I want to name something specific about being seen this way, okay? Because it cuts both directions. Being seen as life partner material is the most flattering thing in this reading. And it's also the reason for the paralysis, because you don't get nervous about someone you see as temporary. You get careful, painfully careful, about the person you've decided you want for life. So the very weight that's freezing them, okay, is the proof of how seriously they're taking you. A casual feeling moves fast because it has nothing to lose. A life partner feeling moves slow because it feels like it has everything to lose, and this person is moving slow for the biggest possible reason. Now, with the Five of Swords, I'm going to check this out, because why did the Five of Swords come out with the Ten of Pentacles? Okay, the Five of Swords. This person loves you a lot. They care so much about you, okay? They feel like you are so, so special. Your person here feels that you are so, so special. You are so kind. You're literally life partner material. The reason why we have this Five of Swords is because they have been so traumatized and hurt in their past, okay? So romantically, they've been so hurt and so frustrated regarding their past. They literally think to themselves, oh my God, I've been through so much in the past. I've gone through so much pain and heartbreak and sadness and frustration and pain and trauma. I've been through so much. And they get scared. They get overwhelmed. They don't know how to cope with it, right? And the Five of Swords shows a figure gathering up swords, okay? A slight smirk, two other figures walking away in the background, heads down, defeated. And it's the card of the hollow victory, of conflict that leaves everyone worse off, of battles that cost more than they gave. And when it shows up around someone's past, it means they walked away from love carrying losses, carrying the memory of fights that scarred them. And I want to be gentle and honest about what that does to a person, okay? Because it explains everything that comes after. When love has hurt someone badly enough, their nervous system stops telling the difference between the person who hurt them and the next person who could. A new love, even a safe one, even the right one, sets off the same alarms as the old danger. So when this person hesitates around you, okay, some of what they're feeling isn't even about you at all. It's an old alarm going off. A body remembering pain and bracing before the mind can catch up and say, no, this one is different. This one is safe. And learning to tell those two apart, okay? The old alarm and the real present is exactly the work they have to do before they can come forward. It's not small work and it's not fast. But the Page of Swords and the Hanged Man both say they're genuinely doing it. And so because they've been through so much like pain and trauma in the past love-wise, they get very scared coming forward, but they know that you are the one, okay? They know that you are the one. They just have to get through that trauma and that pain that they've been through. It's not that they are still hung up on their past situations or connections. It's more so the fact that they've been through so much in the past that obviously they just get really overwhelmed, like doing it again. And I want to sit with that distinction, okay, because it's genuinely important and easy to get wrong. They are not hung up on an ex. This is not someone pining for someone else. The thing holding them back is not another person. It's the memory of pain. And those are completely different blocks. It's a bit like, right? If you've been rejected for a job 20 times, going to that 21st job interview can feel quite overwhelming. Even if you feel like, okay, that's definitely going to be the one, you can still have reservations and doubt. It's very normal, right? So that's what I see here, is that they literally believe that you are the one for them. They feel like you are so connected to them. They feel like you are their person, okay? And I want to draw out one more layer of that job interview picture, okay? Because it explains the exact flavor of their hesitation. The person who's been turned down 20 times doesn't just fear the 21st no. They fear their own hope. They've learned that hoping is what makes the rejection hurt. So they protect themselves by refusing to fully hope at all. And that's the quiet battle inside this person, okay? A huge part of them is certain you're the one. And another part is terrified to let itself believe that fully. Because believing it is what would make losing it unbearable. So they hold the certainty and the fear at the very same time. And that is an exhausting way to carry a feeling this big. And I want to expand that job interview idea a little, okay? Because it's a really accurate picture of what's happening in them. The person walking into that 21st interview isn't hesitating because they don't want the job. They're hesitating because wanting it so much is exactly what makes it terrifying. The more it matters, the more there is to lose. And the more the old rejections start whispering, and that's this person with you, okay? It's not that you matter too little to act on. It's that you matter so much that acting on it feels enormous, and their scars start speaking up the moment they get close to something real. We got quite a few cards here. 1 second. But they get overwhelmed. They get scared. The Page of Swords. We've got the Page of Swords. They feel like you are their person. They want to have this transformation. They don't want to be stuck, in their ways. And what I mean by that really is that they don't want to be stuck in a cycle, in a situation where the past just affects them. Again, not the past person or anything. It's the past, like trauma and the heartbreak and the sadness and, the overwhelming emotions of what they had to deal with when something didn't work out in the past. They don't want to be stuck in that kind of energy. And the Page of Swords is shown standing on a windy hilltop, okay? Sword raised, hair and clothes blown back, alert and ready and looking forward. It's the card of new mental energy, of someone deciding to face something with clear eyes, of the first move toward a breakthrough. So this card is genuinely hopeful, okay? Because it means they don't want to stay stuck. They're not resigned to their fear. There's a part of them actively wanting to break the cycle, to be different this time, to not let the past run the future. So they know that you're the one. The Hierophant here shows family energy, okay? This is Taurus energy. You've got double Taurus energy here. We got the Bull here as well. Basically, Taurus is a fixed sign, okay? And it is to do with being locked in when it comes to commitment, when it comes to stability, when it comes to marriage, for example. It's about being locked in and completely faithful, loyal and committed. So they know that you are the one, okay, they know that you are the one that they want to be locked in with. And the Hierophant shows a robed figure between two pillars, okay, two students kneeling before him, a hand raised in blessing. It's the card of tradition, of sacred commitment, of the formal, serious, institutional kind of union, marriage in its most committed sense, and paired with double Taurus, okay? The most loyal, most locked in, most faithful sign in the whole zodiac. You're getting a picture of someone who does not do things halfway when this person commits. They commit fully, permanently, the being locked in kind. And that's exactly the kind of person who's terrified to start, because for them, starting means forever. The Page of Swords again. Page of Swords. They want to be proactive. They want to come forward. They want to say something. They want to work towards this connection. Yes, they have their little wobbles and their little struggles because of what they've been through in their past. But they want to do this. The Magician and the Knight of Cups. Magician is about communication. And we've also got here as well the Knight of Cups. They're going to come forward romantically and express themselves to you and progress things along with you and move things in that direction. And the Magician stands at his table with all four suits before him, okay? One hand raised to the sky, one to the ground, the infinity symbol over his head. It's the card of making things happen, of intention turning into action, and specifically here, of communication, of finally finding the words. And the Knight of Cups, okay, this is the romantic of the whole deck. A knight riding slowly and gracefully, offering a cup out in front of him, armor decorated with fish and wings. He is the card of the lover who arrives with his heart extended, the one who comes bearing feelings, the proposal, the confession, the offering of the heart. So between the Magician and the Knight of Cups, okay, you have the finding of the words and the offering of the heart side by side. This is the reading showing you that the coming forward is genuinely in the cards, not as a fantasy, but as a real movement this person is building toward. And I want to add something about the Knight of Cups specifically, okay? Because it says something about how they'll come. This knight doesn't charge like the others. He moves slowly, deliberately, his horse walking, not galloping. And that tells you the approach when it comes won't be reckless or impulsive. It'll be considered gentle, offered with care, which fits everything else we've seen, okay? Because a person carrying this much fear isn't going to burst through the door. They're going to approach the way this knight does, one careful step at a time, heart held out in front of them, hoping it's safe to offer it. The Hanged Man, and then we also have the Hanged Man, which is them awakening and kind of realizing things and becoming a lot more on the same page and progressing things along with you. And the Hanged Man hangs upside down from a tree by 1 foot, okay? Calm-faced. A halo of light around his head. And here it's a beautiful card to see because it's the card of the shift in perspective. The moment someone finally sees a situation from a completely new angle and something clicks into place. So this is them coming to a realization, okay, a genuine internal awakening where they stop seeing you through the lens of their old fear and start seeing you clearly as the person worth getting over the fear for. Now, if this resonates with you, please like this reading, comment down below, and make sure you subscribe, okay? This person just wants you to know that they love you. They feel connected to you. They feel drawn to you, but they just need a little bit of time to get over their fears, okay? Over their fears. And I want to say something honest about that little bit of time, okay? Because I don't want you to hear it as a promise with a date on it. The cards are very clear that the feeling is real and the coming forward is genuinely building. But someone healing from real trauma moves on their own clock, not yours. And part of protecting yourself here is holding both things at once. The love is real, and you cannot put your own life on pause waiting for their timeline to finish. I don't want you to move on. So we have here, I don't want you to move on, because they literally do not want you to move on. It's very, very obvious from all of this that they literally do not want you to move on. They do not want you to be with someone else or to be connected with someone else. Please forgive me. We also have here as well, please forgive me, because I do feel like they will come to you with an apology and be like, I'm so sorry this took so long. I'm so sorry it took so much time. I'm so sorry I wasn't able to do enough, okay? They will feel very, very bad, and also very, very sad in regards to this. And I want you to actually picture that apology for a second, okay? Because it tells you something about the character underneath the fear. A person who plans to apologize for taking too long is a person who knows their silence had a cost. They're not oblivious to what the waiting did to you. They're aware of it. They feel guilty about it, and they intend to own it. And that awareness is its own kind of care. And I want to sit with the shape of that apology for one more moment, okay? Because there are 3 sorries in it, and each one points at something real. I'm sorry this took so long. That's them acknowledging the waiting. I'm sorry it took so much time. That's them knowing the delay had weight. I'm sorry I wasn't able to do enough. That's them owning that their fear cost you something. And a person rehearsing all 3 of those, okay, even silently, is a person who has been thinking about you far more than their silence ever showed. The apology exists because the caring never stopped. It just couldn't get past the fear to reach you yet. They feel physically very attracted to you. So if you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, are they not doing so much because they're not physically attracted? No, it's got nothing to do with that, because they're physically very attracted to you. They feel very, very connected to you. They feel very drawn to you. It's more so the fact that the fear of things breaking down in their past and that sadness they had to deal with was just all consuming. It was very, very consuming and very overwhelming for them, to the point where it's been so stressful. Okay, so let me tell you something. The one thing that they like so much about you is just you as a whole. Okay, you as a whole. Everything. Like just you as a whole. That's the one thing that they really, really like about you, is just you as a whole. You with everything, you know, because you might think, oh, is it because of this? Or, you know, certain parts of your like insecurity, the way you're thinking to yourself, is it because of this? Is they like you as you are, okay? And this is the one thing, okay, this is the answer to the title. The thing that made this person love you twice as much isn't a feature. It isn't one attractive quality you could point to and name. It's the whole of you, the entire person, the parts you'd list as flaws included. The one thing that they really, really love about you is who you are. Like you as you, okay? So they're going to come forward. Don't worry. This person right now is sort of in a hide and seek energy where, you know, they're not really doing a lot, right? But they're going to come forward and they're going to express themselves to you, and they're going to be very proactive towards you and make things work. And we do have here, just be patient with me, and they don't want you to move on, okay? But focus on yourself. You take care of yourself, and just make sure you're not sitting around and waiting. I think that, you know, that just is all consuming for you energetically. It's not going to help you. It's not going to make you feel good. So don't like just sit and wait. You know what I mean? Focus on you. You put yourself first. Very important stuff. And I want to underline that advice, okay? Because it's the single most important instruction in this whole reading. And it's easy to skate past in all the romance. Be patient with them if you choose to. But patient is not the same as waiting. Patience is living your full life while leaving the door open. Waiting is putting your life on hold with your eyes fixed on a door that opens on someone else's schedule. And the second one hollows you out, okay? It drains you. It makes you smaller. And ironically, it makes you less like the whole vibrant, complete person they fell for in the first place. So focusing on yourself isn't giving up on them. It's staying the exact person they don't want to lose. The Tower. We've got the Tower. So there's a rebuild. There's a sense here of things really progressing. Building, you know, the building blocks. There's a lot of progress. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of, there's just a lot more that is going to happen, basically. And it's like Rapunzel. I remember the story of Rapunzel here, because I feel like they're going to come up and to a degree come in, you know, work for the connection. And I feel like that's really something that's going to happen. Just because they haven't done it so far doesn't mean it won't happen. Okay, so that's very, very important there. And I want to reframe the Tower for you here, okay? Because people brace when they see it, and the reader is using it in a specific way. The Tower shows a lightning-struck tower, the crown blown off, figures falling from it. And yes, it's usually a card of sudden collapse, but a collapse clears the ground. And here it's being read as the rebuild, okay? The old structure of fear coming down so that something new can actually be built on cleared ground. The old walls this person hid behind have to fall before they can come forward. And the Tower is that wall coming down. And I want to name why that has to happen first, okay? Because it's the piece people resist. You cannot build something real on top of a structure made of fear. The walls this person put up to survive their past were load-bearing for a while. They genuinely kept them standing, but those same walls are now the exact thing keeping you out. So the tower isn't punishment here, okay? It's demolition before construction. The fearful old structure comes down, sometimes suddenly, sometimes in a single moment of clarity. And on the cleared ground, something honest finally gets to be built. And the reading is telling you that demolition is coming, which means the building is coming right behind it. So let's get another card out, another message card. They love you because you are you. So they love you because you are you. Okay. With all your emotions and all your vulnerabilities and all your sensitivities and who you are as a person, they love you for who you are. That's the one big thing, okay? It's not that, oh, they just like your body or, oh, they just like, your hobby or something. It's you for you. And I want to slow all the way down here, okay? Because this is the heart of the whole reading and it deserves more than a passing line. They love the parts of you that you've been taught to apologize for, the emotions you think are too much, the vulnerabilities you try to hide, the sensitivities you've been told to toughen out of. Those exact things, okay, the ones you count as your flaws are the things this person looks at and loves, not tolerates, loves. And that's the one thing that made them love you twice as much. The fact that you're wholly, unapologetically yourself, emotions and all. And I want to speak to why that lands so hard, okay? Because if you're like most people who get this reading, you've spent a lot of your life being loved conditionally, loved for what you provide, loved for how you look on a good day, loved for the version of you that keeps the harder feelings tucked away. And conditional love teaches you something quietly toxic. Okay, it teaches you that the real you, the whole you, the one with the big emotions and the tender spots, is too much and has to be managed to keep the love from leaving. And this person breaks that rule, okay? They're not loving the managed version. They're loving the one underneath, the one you were sure had to stay hidden. And being loved like that, wholly, without having to perform, is a completely different experience than anything conditional love ever gave you. And so the birds here show they want to fly and soar and conquer and progress things with you. They want to move through the world with you. They want to move through and do a lot more with you. And the number 7 really sticks out here, because this 7 of Cups shows they like you for all the things that you do, or the things that you don't do, or the things that you appreciate, or the things you don't appreciate. They like you for you, and that's the most powerful, most important thing that I can tell you in this reading at this time. And the 7 of Cups shows 7 cups floating in the clouds, okay? Each holding something different, a face, a jewel, a wreath, a dragon, a glowing figure. And usually it's a card of too many options, a fantasy and choice. But here it's being read as all the different facets of you, all the many cups that make up a whole person. And this person doesn't want just one of them. They want the whole set, every cup, the full, complicated, complete you. And before the final message, I want to leave a few things to actually hold on to. Okay, the first, the block, is fear, not doubt about you, loves. Every card said the feeling is enormous. The 10 of Pentacles, the Hierophant, the double Taurus, life partner, locked in, forever energy. What's holding them back is the 5 of Swords, old trauma, not any hesitation about whether you're worth it. They've already decided you're the one. The second, the one thing they love is the whole of you, not your looks, not one quality, the entire person, emotions and vulnerabilities and sensitivities included. And I want you to actually take that in because you've probably spent years thinking those were the parts to hide. They're the parts that made someone love you twice as much. The third, focus on yourself and mean it. Patient is not the same as waiting. Live your full life. Keep being the whole, vibrant person they fell for, and let them do the work of getting over their fear on their own side of the street. You don't heal it for them by shrinking your life down to a waiting room. And I want to answer one more thing. Okay, why this reached you now with this much specific detail? Because you were starting to wonder if the reason they weren't moving was something wrong with you, some flaw, some part of you that wasn't enough. And it's the exact opposite, okay? The reason they're frozen is that you're so much the one that acting on it terrifies their old wounds. You were never the problem. You were the whole point. I don't pull the 10 of Pentacles, the Hierophant, double Taurus, the Magician, the Knight of Cups, and message cards that literally say, I don't want you to move on and please forgive me, all in one reading by accident. And I want to speak to the small doubting part of you for a second, okay? The one quietly thinking, but if they loved me that much, they'd just say it. That voice doesn't understand trauma. The people who've been hurt the most are the slowest to reach for the thing they want the most, precisely because it matters the most. Set that voice down tonight. This is already clear, okay? The moon confirmed hidden, suppressed feeling under the surface. The 10 of Pentacles, Hierophant, and double Taurus confirmed they see you as a locked-in, life partner, forever person. The 5 of Swords and the job interview fear confirmed the block is past trauma, not doubt, and not another person. The Page of Swords, Magician, Knight of Cups, and Hanged Man confirmed they want to break the cycle, find the words, and come forward. The message cards confirmed they don't want you to move on and they'll apologize for the delay. And the Tower and 7 of Cups confirmed a rebuild and that they love the whole of you exactly as you are. So let me lay this all out one final time. Okay, slowly, so it actually settles. Someone sees you as their life partner, okay? They're locked in forever, the one person. And they are physically drawn to you and deeply, completely connected to you. And they're frozen, not by doubt about you, but by the scars of a past that hurt them badly. And they're working genuinely toward getting over it and coming forward with an apology for the delay. And the one thing that made them love you twice as much is the whole of you. Every emotion, every vulnerability, every part you thought you had to hide. And your job is to keep being exactly that whole person, focused on your own life, not shrinking into a waiting room for them. One message. They didn't fall for one thing about you. They fell for all of you, which is the one thing you can never lose by being yourself. If this resonated, loves, let me know what hit hardest. I genuinely read every comment, okay, even the ones I can't always reply to individually. Your story becomes part of the reason this reading keeps finding the next person who needs it too. Like this reading, and make sure that you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. Wherever you're watching this from, okay, I want you to actually feel this settle in before you go. You have probably spent a long time, okay, believing the way to be loved was to hide certain parts of yourself, to be less emotional, less sensitive, less much, to smooth yourself down into something easier to want. And here is someone who looked at all of it, okay, the emotions, the vulnerabilities, the sensitivities, the whole unedited person, and loved you more for it, not less. So please stop hiding the parts you thought disqualified you, okay? Because they're the parts that made someone fall. The whole of you was never too much. It was the exact thing that made you unforgettable. Take care of yourself. Bye, loves.